Gary Shaw returns after almost 4 months out of the league side with cartilage trouble and goes into 1984 with his contract here at Villa Park ending in June. Shaw replaces Paul Rideout, who drops to substitute after a run of 11 matches, and the other Villa change is at right back, where Des Bremner comes in for the injured Gary Williams. Rangers field the side which lost at Leicester on Boxing Day. Their two most recent signings, Mike Fillery and Jeremy Charles, are now establishing themselves, and there's a return to Villa Park for John Gregory, who spent 2 years with Aston Villa. Referee this afternoon is Alan Banks from Manchester. Aston Villa in their claret and blue, playing from left to right, and Queen's Park Rangers, side by side with Villa in the league table at the start of play, are in the hoops. Rangers, in fact, have played 1 game less and have also got a better goal difference than Aston Villa. Stewart. Shaw. Mortimer. Foul by Wicks on Withe. Quickly played to Shaw. Here's McMahon, and a foul again. Fenwick coming in on Shaw. Villa trying to take the quick free kick and earning another one. This is McMahon for Villa. Nice ball, Withe. Good save by Hucker, away by Fenwick. Still in play, Ormsby back to Mortimer. Offside this time, but they weren't earlier. Peter Withe was onside when he had the shot, and Hucker made a fine reflex save. And I rather think the linesman feels somebody spoke out of turn. Warren Neill was the offender, and the referee is called across by the linesman, and he books Neill for dissent. And the warning seemed pretty clear there to Warren Neill, 21-year-old fullback of Queen's Park Rangers. That was Mortimer. And then Deacy. Linesman's flag stayed down there. Withe again, beating the offside trap. Here's Walters. Possibilities here for Aston Villa. Good cross and well taken in the end by Hucker. Fine pace again by Mark Walters, and a good fast ball in too. Shaw was hovering in case Hucker fumbled it completely. That's a goal kick. Was Wicks, and Evans then for Villa. Fillery sorting things out for Rangers, finding Neill. Peter Withe appeared to have a kick at Warren Neill there, and there have already been signs of bad temper in this match. Referee having a word with Withe, who certainly appeared to kick out. Wicks. Wide on the left is Dawes, but Shaw half intercepting. Stainrod's there. Chance! Saved by Spink, and a good one too. And a chance for Simon Stainrod, the top scorer. An inadvertent deflection by Gary Shaw, cutting out a pass meant for Dawes, caused that. Stainrod got in behind the defence, but a good reflex save by Nigel Spink. Wicks. And Ormsby forward, onside, Peter Withe. Good stop by Hucker. Play on again, Charles. Oh, nicely round Evans. And now Jeremy Charles is through. And a great to by Spink. So similar to the one at the other end by Hucker. And maybe we're watching here a future England goalkeeper. But which end, I wonder? They're both very good at coming out in one-against-ones. But there's a growing regard in the game for the Rangers keeper, Peter Hucker. Here's Wicks. Stainrod tangling with Evans. Referee called that evens. Curbishley. That's well played. Deacy. So is that. Mortimer. Villa do move well when the play starts to flow, and Mortimer is onside. Brilliantly done this by Villa, and Mortimer couldn't quite get the ball in. Well, if Rangers play the offside game as often as they seem to want to do, teams are sometimes going to find them out with the midfield player making the run at the right time through the ranks. Mortimer's so good at that, it's possibly the strongest part of his game. And on that occasion, the floated effort went the wrong side of the post. Bremner. Shaw is the man running, so too is Curbishley on this side. Withe with the header. Curbishley. Into McMahon, and now Mortimer. Deacy coming from left back. McMahon. And Withe offside. No goals, but some nice, tidy, alert goalkeeping, partly responsible for that. Nigel Spink getting better, it seems, with every game. And at the other end, Peter Hucker, underrated, but also very sound. 0-0 at half-time. Villa have only lost one home match in the league this season. It was to Arsenal by 6-2, remarkably. Rangers have had 4 away wins. They're playing from the left now, QPR in the second half. This is Peter Withe and Mark Waters. Deacy. Waters. Coming in on the far side was Curbishley. Drove him really wide, the cross. And again, Hucker in no difficulties. He has a very calm temperament to add to his other qualities, which we saw illustrated quite clearly at Wembley in those 2 cup finals, when he was voted the BBC Viewers' Man of the Match. Mortimer. Waters. And again he's there, is Hucker. Gary Shaw hoping to pounce on something. And Mark Waters certainly supplying the service. Tony Barton, the Villa manager, in the white raincoat in the centre there. Shaw. Fenwick got the ball away as far as Deacy. Mortimer again with this forward surge. Waters. Oh, he's on his way here. But again, he can't get the shot on the goal. Well, he's a talented young player. Only 19, Mark Waters, but I fancy a spot of shooting practice at the training ground might be in order next week. Came off Ormsby's head, that. Evans was covering behind him and was fouled by Charles. Deacy. Waters with Mortimer's pushed on. Oh, and that Ball meant for McMahon was intercepted by Stewart, and Rangers on their way here. Streaming behind him are 3 players from midfield. Dawes has come all the way from left back. Found Stewart again. And Charles is coming in and scores for Rangers. A pass which went wrong for Aston Villa in the middle of the field. And Ian Stewart was away. Dawes joined the attack intelligently, got the ball back again to Stewart. The cross was well angled for the far post, and Jeremy Charles has always been a good target man on those. Put it away nicely by the post. And it's Queen's Park Rangers who take the lead. Slightly against the run of play, perhaps, but Aston Villa have had opportunities and haven't taken them. And they now find themselves up against it at home for the second match running. Here's Withe. Into Walters. Villa drew 0-0 here with Spurs on Tuesday, but Tottenham had the better chances. And now it's Rangers who've been galvanised by the goal. Stewart to Fillery. Now can Villa strike back quickly? Well, I think if you trace the move a long way back, it was Peter Withe whose pass meant for McMahon went astray for Aston Villa, and it was the opposite number 9 who eventually capitalised. Charles is up again, Stainrod's there. And I fancy Aston Villa will get the vote there of the referee against Simon Stainrod. Oh, Fenwick came out looking for an offside, and Wicks stayed back, enabling Gary Shaw to get possession. To Withe, to Shaw, good effort! Oh, it just scraped past that far post from Gary Shaw. The offside game didn't work there. Fenwick came racing out looking for a flag, and Wicks stayed back. An interchange between Shaw and Withe, and a lovely shot, which on another day might well have gone in. Waddock. McMahon and Curbishley trying to get things going in midfield for Aston Villa. Deacy lending a hand from left back. Rangers diving in with the tackle. Still Deacy and Shaw. And Deacy again. Now McMahon. And Shaw is through. Good turn. Was he fouled? Penalty. Terry Fenwick on Gary Shaw. And the protest by Terry Fenwick is to no avail. It's a penalty to Aston Villa. Good build-up again by Villa, and when Shaw got in there, he tried to turn inside Fenwick, who blocked him. Penalty given, from my angle, a good decision. Allan Evans to take the kick, the Villa captain. And scores. 1-1. Evans the scorer, but Gary Shaw, on his return to the Aston Villa League side, has an impact just when it was required. It's 20 minutes from the end that Aston Villa draw level. And Allan Evans, actually, that was his 4th successful penalty of the season, and his 8th goal overall. He's Villa's 2nd highest scorer, would you believe, from centre-back. And he's taken over the penalty job, Allan Evans, largely because Gordon Cowans has been out of action for so long, the original penalty taker. The attendance this afternoon at Villa Park, just under 20,000, but the loyalists at the Holt end there, hoping to see their team recover from what was, after all, a fairly indifferent Christmas. Villa were beaten at Watford and drew here against Spurs. Now they're level again against Queen's Park Rangers. With Mortimer, Deacy, and McMahon, and he's put that one in beautifully. That's a brilliant goal by Steve McMahon. Oh, that's match-winning stuff. And applause ringing round Villa Park when they know a good goal, when they see one. Steve McMahon, for a minute he looked up, thought about passing to his right, but he chipped a beautiful goal past Peter Hucker 10 minutes from the end. And Aston Villa have come from 1 down to lead 2-1. And it's got the whole end singing, and why not? A mistake initially in defence. Neill now losing his head. He's already been booked. He's had a go at Walters. He's kicked the ball away. He's being warned by the linesman. The referee here has got to decide whether to leave Warren Neill on the field. Walters was the player he tangled with. The linesman's given his verdict to the referee, who has to decide, does he send Neill off? Only a few minutes left. A lecture. Are we going to play the game the right way or not? We are. Good decision by the referee. Sensible stuff from Alan Banks. Walters with. McMahon's goal has lit up the afternoon. Beautifully taken. Ormsby's acrobatic clearance. A rousing second half here brought Aston Villa their first win of the holiday period, and Steve McMahon said farewell to 1983 with a memorable winning goal. Jeremy Charles had put Queen's Park Rangers ahead after 54 minutes, but Aston Villa clawed their way back into the match. Allan Evans equalising from the penalty spot, applauds the fans, and in the end Villa were good value for the 3 points.